What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, J-Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of Mar-a-Lago of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, happy Passover, happy Easter. How are you today on this Easter Sunday?
We say Merry Christmas here. Okay, you're not gonna start off our great patriotic podcast immediately with radical left talking points. We say Merry Christmas until July 4th when we say Happy Birthday, America. We say that for 1 month and then we're back to saying Merry Christmas. So no, you're not gonna catch me with critical holiday theory.
Today is Easter. I'm very surprised, being the man of God who you are.
Strong, very strong Christian.
Yes, recording a podcast on Easter Sunday.
Here's the thing. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Tech stuff. And tech stuff, I think, is a Jewish name. So you celebrate Passover, correct?
Yes, I do. Also Easter. My wife is not Jewish, so I celebrate both.
Well, if you were stronger, Orthodox tech stuff. I think it's pronounced tech stuff in Israel Jewish language.
You're correct.
But they tech stuff. They would not look too kindly on sort of the divided household. A strong, a guy like some of my strong Jewish supporters, they wouldn't allow that Christmas business. But I respect it. I respect your wife for being very tough. Maybe we should have her as Mrs. Tech Stuff on the show. But what I was going to say is, on Easter, as you know, this is when it's one of the biggest holidays in Christianism. And it's a real big holiday. There's a lot that goes on, and Easter is one of the big ones. So it's sort of on this day, I think God sort of takes the day off. And as you know, I work harder than anybody, including God. So I said, while God is having a birthday party for his son, Jason, on Easter, we can go do the podcast just to prove that, we do 24/7, 365. Apparently God does 24/7, 364. So a little bit stronger work ethic than the strong Christianopoly, I believe they call it. Very strong.
Now, Mr. President, I really appreciate you doing two podcasts this week. You did the bonus episode this past week, which people are saying possibly the best, already a winner for the best bonus episode or the best episode for 2022, the Passover bonus episode on the Patreon. Tons of messages, tons of tweets. So we really appreciate you spending a second day this week with us.
It's our Patreon. We value our Patreon patriots so very much, especially the hot ones. And, I just think people should give it a try. I mean, the Passover bonus episode was, I'm going to say it right now, the greatest episode we've ever done. Okay.
It's up there for sure.
And I tell you, I got a message from our good friend. Well, my good friend, you don't know him, and he doesn't want to know you, Sam Sung. Okay. Samuel wrote to me and he said, "Pass over very strong." And he's like kind of annoyed. He was being honest, because him, as I've told you, he's very direct, very honest, a lot of integrity. But I could tell he also wasn't too happy. Like, in other words, he was admitting that Passover bonus was better than the Samsung episode, because he's honest, but he's human. Okay, he's a strong human, but he's human. And I could tell he wasn't happy, but he's honest, so he admitted it. So I think this would be obviously a good time for people to join and see what they're missing. But if not, we're a country full of radical left freeloaders, so it won't surprise me if, we only have an elite group of Patreon people.
Let us keep missing it. But if not, it's patreon.com/MPGA. Mr. President, I wanted to know your thoughts I know you are a
Sorry,
big.
Tiffany is eating her own ass in my office right now, and it's a real disgrace. It's a little bit I mean, it's a lot of talent, to be honest. If we're being totally honest, I mean, she's getting the full tongue, and maybe no guy wants to do that. So it's pretty impressive that she's handling her own business. But stop tossing the Tiffany salad. Okay, she stopped. Thank God. I could only watch that for another 10 or 15 minutes because of a strong father.
I wanted to ask you your opinion on the Easter Bunny. What's your take on the Easter Bunny? Children taking pictures of the Easter Bunny, egg hunts. What's your take on these?
Okay, well, I wouldn't go as far as to call him an egg cunt, but
Egg hunt. The kids hunting for Easter eggs.
Okay, well, yes, no, I know what you're saying now, but I think this is it's Easter, tech stuff. It's Easter, and for you to call it the Easter Bunny and egg cunt is really not worthy of this podcast. So I call the Easter Bunny an egg bitch, okay, because we don't use the C word here. But no, I think the Easter Bunny works hard, okay. He procreates. He's very, very, produces a lot of offspring, almost as many as me. Yeah, you ever think the Easter Bunny could be in sort of like pro sports with how many just kids he's having? But anyway, I think that I think it's a nice thing. I think he works hard. He's a good Christian, and I think he helps our kids. And he's not grooming them, by the way. He's not grooming the kids like these radical left teachers who want to teach, how to do oral when you're in first grade, which is a total disgrace. But no, the Easter Bunny not grooming, just helping. It's called helping.
Now you came out with an Easter message for today. And in your Easter message, you called the radical left maniacs who are ruining this country. And you also called Attorney General Letitia James racist. Could you please shed some light on these comments?
Well, Letitia James is an African American who is prosecuting me because I am a white person. And that's called the definition of racism. And the radical left, imagine how bad it has to be for what many people are saying the greatest Christian in the history of Christians, for me to take time out of Easter, despite being a great Christian, to point out the radical left and how they're destroying our country. It shows right there. It shows how bad they are, because a great Christian like me would not take time out of Easter unless it was absolutely necessary. And what we're seeing now with the left, they want the basic. I'll say it right now. The left wants to have sex with kids, and we don't like that. Okay, we don't support that at all, and they want to destroy our country. They want World War III, and they want to have sex with kids while the nukes fall on our country, destroying it. The last thing they want. This is what the left is saying. This is in their platform. We want to have sex with kids while we get bombed with nuclear weapons.
I did not know that. Where did you read that?
It's in so many. I'm surprised you haven't seen it. Maybe as a tech stuff guy, you're reading like from right to left instead of left to right, like we do in the conservative. We want to end with the right because the right's the best. But no, it's everywhere. Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, they have all these data. It's called data, and they have evidence as well, and they also have information.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Before
Can
you
imagine this is where our country is? That the left, Hollywood, and Democrats in Congress, they literally want their last moment on earth to be having sex with patriotic children while nuclear weapons blow up our country. That's what they want.
It's wild.
It's
Absolutely crazy.
and it's so sad because when I was hanging out with Sir Jeffrey Epstein
Hmm.
and he was having sex with kids, I remember him specifically saying, the worst thing in the world, can you imagine how bad it would be if nukes hit our country right now during this wonderful activity we're doing? And I thought, yes, you're totally correct, Sir Jeffrey. And the left doesn't think that. They disagree. How about that? What a wonderful Democratic Party we have.
Absolutely
Horrible
amazing.
people.
Mr. President, Making Podcasts Great Again today is brought to you by RebeccaSloan.com, one of our newest sponsors. Guys, if you want some high quality sterling silver jewelry and don't want to spend thousands of dollars, this is the place to go. It's high quality. You would think you're spending thousands of dollars, but you're really not going to spend over, I don't know, $200, $250. Sterling silver. There's lots of beautiful bracelets and earrings and necklaces, so many different products to choose from. And it's always free shipping. And for our listeners, we have a special deal. Use coupon code Ivanka, IVANKA, for a 20% discount. Go to RebeccaSloan.com. That's RebeccaSloane.com right now. We know Mother's Day is coming up. Everyone has anniversaries coming up every single month. Birthdays coming up. Guys, right now, surprise the one you love with a gift that they're going to think you spend thousands of dollars on, but really we know your secret because this is high quality sterling silver jewelry. I know Rebecca Sloan tried to get in touch with you, Mr. President.
Rebecca Sloan is, we're big fans of Rebecca. She got into my DMs on Parler. And also, by the way, we fast tracked her on Truth Social. So aren't you jealous? And she was all up in my DMs on Truth Social. And she said, "Sir, it's also great for Mother's Day." And then I said, "Mother's Day." And Mike Pence came running in my office. And here, because to him, every day is Mother's Day because he's a creep that calls his wife mother. And you should have seen him. He was going through all the stuff. He said, "Sir, can I use that discount code Ivanka?" And I said, "Well, you know, at this one time, we'll let you do it, Mike." So he used the discount code and he ordered up a bunch of stuff for Mother because everybody knows I'm not PC. But Mike Pence, and especially his wife, Mother Karen, very PC, very conservative. And she found the items very classy, very tasteful, very elegant. And she found it weird when Mike was doing a search on the site for sterling silver anal beads. And they didn't have that. So if anybody's out there looking for that, that's not the kind of stuff they have. Very classy stuff. So Mike made a huge order and he got it. He gave it to Mother Karen Pence. And she was like, "Michael, this is so nice. This is so beautiful." And then that's when I walked in and I said, I didn't spend thousands of dollars on this, right? Like we don't want to ruin it for our great listeners, but I ruined it for Karen and Mike Pence. I said, for January 6th, I'm going to tell your wife, even though the stuff looks like it cost a ton of money, you actually didn't spend a ton of money. So you're not a great Christian, Mike. Happy Easter.
Well, everyone, go to RebeccaSloan.com and remember to use coupon code Ivanka for 20% discount and always free shipping. RebeccaSloan.com. Now, Mr. President, I wanted to ask you, Roger Stone visited Mar-a-Lago recently.
Great guy.
Yes, and he
very loyal, very, very tough and very smart.
He had a discussion with you, and the discussion was about Ron DeSantis. And basically, he told you that Ron DeSantis is a piece of shit. Can you elaborate on the conversation anymore, or just end he's a piece of shit and then you guys play golf?
Well, he did say that. I'm here to confirm that, and I agreed with him in complete agreement. And you know why he said that? Because obviously he considers Ron DeSantis very disloyal. Okay, because I made him. He was going nowhere in the primary, and then I endorsed him. And then all of a sudden he ran out in front, and then he won. He won. And now he's governor because of me. And now he decides he wants to run against me. That's what they're talking about. And that was bad enough. But you want to hear this?
Tell me.
And I can't believe I'm saying this because I understood, Roger Stone is a very loose guy. He's a fun guy. He's, he doesn't get in your face about a lot of stuff. But he loves the country. He loves me. But he doesn't want to tell people what their business is. And Ron DeSantis said to Roger Stone, he said, we want to, I can't even believe this because Florida is usually so great for taxes. Okay, they're pro-business, but under DeSantis, this is how you know it's personal. He said he wants to tax Roger Stone's wife's vagina as a tourism business. And Roger Stone's he's a tough guy. He's always very fun, but he's tough. And you should have seen it. You're lucky they only caught him calling him a piece of shit because he was so mad. He was, you've never seen Roger Stone this mad. And to try and treat that wonderful woman who brings so much joy to so many, 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 many men is such an insult on so many levels for Ron DeSantis to do that. He was going to call it the Stone Cavern tax. And Roger Stone was so mad. He actually hired 6 men to pound his wife while he sat there watching because he was so beside himself with anger that he wanted to see it taken out on the woman whose honor he was defending. He was defending his wife's honor so strongly from the attack and insult of Ron DeSantis that he had 6 young men pound her for hours. That's how mad he was. And that's how great a husband he is. That's how upset he was about her honor being called into question. So, yes, Ron DeSantis has reached new lows, not only disloyal to me, but now insulting the people and the wives of people close to me. So, no, we are done with Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is going to go bye-bye.
So one more thing about Ron DeSantis. Will he be public enemy number 1 if you do happen to run in 2024? Will he be public enemy number 1 to get rid of because of this whole Roger Stone fiasco?
Oh, no, the number 1 enemy is still sleepy Joe Biden.
Right.
We have to, but no, Ron DeSantis is, much like the NBA playoffs on betonline.ag. You can't get to the finals until you take care of your rivals in the early rounds. And no, I'm going to take very special delight in destroying dumb Ron DeSantis and his sour milk voice. Hi, President Trump. Oh, that's right. Isn't that a nice voice? Isn't that a wonderful? You go to world leaders, you go meet Putin, you go meet Xi, and you send a chubby guy going, hi.
Well, just a reminder for our listeners also, Mr. President, on April 28th, that is Thursday, April 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have our Perfect 10 Patreon Patriot live bonus QAnon. That's right. It's 8 p.m. Eastern on April 28th. Join up at patreon.com/MPGA. Now, Mr. President, I wanted to ask you, you've been endorsing many candidates lately.
Yeah, a lot of questions, tech stuff.
Yes. You've been endorsing lots of candidates lately. Um, I'm
Not
sure
you,
for not
not
me.
endorsing
Well,
you.
I'm not running for anything, but some of the Republican Party think your endorsements are a little questionable. I'd like to talk to you about two of them today. First is Charles Herbster. Love the name, from Nebraska. What are your thoughts on him? You recently endorsed him.
Very talented, very tough, very loyal. The right guy is he's the right guy for our country. He's the right guy. He's got great values, great toughness, loves our country, loves our troops, loves Second Amendment, loves low taxes, loves industry, loves energy. So we support him very strongly.
Now, he 8 women have come out and said that he groped them, including some women saying just in public, just putting his hand up a woman's skirt. As you're smiling and nodding at me, I don't know why you would do that. But what are your thoughts on this?
The fact that he's doing it in public is this is called not PC. It's called bold leadership. It's called leadership. Everybody else sneaks around and goes, "Oh, I'm going to be naughty. I'm going to, flirt with my secretary." This guy, I'm expecting him at a rally to just, fuck a spectator on stage in front of his wife. Yeah, and then what are you going to do then, radical left? What are you going to get him with if he's doing that? So he's basically, the left calls this empowering. You know what I mean? It's empowering what he's doing. He's saying, I'm taking back the power. I'm not going to grab women on their breasts and their asses in private. I'm going to do it right in front of you. So what's the big deal? It's a beautiful, very tough, very smart, very smart. He's playing chess. The radical left plays PC checkers, and this piece of shit is playing Trump chess, which is one step below Go Fish, which is, of course, what I play.
Uh, another candidate I wanted to ask you about, Ohio Senate candidate J.D. Vance. Now, I'm surprised you are endorsing him because he talked a lot of smack about you in the past, and usually you love to hold on to a grudge. Now, why change of heart when it comes to J.D. Vance?
This is bonus material, so I just want to reference. You're aware of the Fred Trump traditions, right?
I am very aware of them.
And a lot of the Fred Trump traditions involve generosity and erotic pleasure and what some people might call extortion and what I call business tactics. And you get all three with JP Vance. You get to see a guy break. He was oh so tough. Oh, I'm so tough. I'm speaking against Trump. I wrote a book. I'm fat. I'm speaking against Trump. Well, guess what? Now he's not speaking against Trump. And Mesopotamia, my wife, knows that very few things get me more riled up for sexual truth, social sexual relations. Our sexual relations are sponsored by Truth Social. So I have to, whenever I talk about sexual relations, I go, the Truth Social sexual relations of the night belong to melatonin and Donald J. Trump. But when we're having Truth Social sexual relations, what I will often have her do is play video or read transcripts in her broken English of candidates who had spoken poorly of me before and then groveled for my endorsement. Because nothing gets me to a full 2.9 than hearing a guy who used to insult me have to go, please give me my endorsement, sir. And that's when I take mashed potatoes to Pound Town.
Mr. President, we've talked about the TV show Saturday Night Live in the past.
Isn't it so fun? It actually used to have some talent and have some funny people. And now it's a total disgrace.
we've spoken about Alec Baldwin doing impressions of you, and you didn't think he was very talented. You think he got what he deserved when he accidentally shot someone on set during a movie. Now he's not doing SNL anymore. What were your thoughts on the most recent sketch poking fun at you this past weekend on SNL?
Well, there was one of the lines they said was, I said the economy would come back by Easter. I never said which Easter. And I actually put a video out a year ago on a secret website, youtube.com/JLCAUVIN, where I said that line. So SNL is actually stealing my lines. And also the sort of train of thought. You know how we have bars? You ever heard me on the show? They're sort of doing the bars technique. This guy who's not bad. He relies on that. If you hear it, he goes over the side of his mouth and he says, "We're doing all these things. We're doing all these things. You hear this? What? I don't have this. We're talking. We're doing this." And he talks out of the side of his mouth like this. How about that? How about that? But he doesn't have a tech stuff guy. And he tries to do bars, and I don't like it. But I think he's a lot better than Baldwin. That we all can agree on. This guy is. If he didn't do so much of this, he might be, and he wasn't clearly so radical left, he might be somebody we'd look out for. But the truth is, SNL is a sinking ship, and it's a real disgrace. It's a real disgrace what they've done. That's why I watch Greg Gutfeld, who's one of our great talented comedian people on Fox.
So you think this new guy is better than Alec Baldwin?
A lot better.
A lot better in mannerisms, in jokes, in how he portrays you. How is he better?
I don't think he's good, but I think he's a lot better. No, but he's got more confidence and he's paying more attention to the voice. And, by going through topics, he shows how smart I am because he goes through all these different topics. Whereas Alec Baldwin could only go one topic at a time because he's not very smart. But this guy, he sort of, he makes his mouth very small. I have a very big mouth. You see it. Very large, huge hands, huge mouth. He does a little mouth and he does it on the other side. And everything is got, excuse me, we're doing this. We're doing this. How about that? Do you like this? We're talking podcast. You got to have a podcast. You got to have it's almost like he's having a little bit of a, like Bell's palsy.
Yeah, I was gonna say a stroke.
But he's a talented guy, a lot more talented than Alec Baldwin. And guess what? This guy hasn't shot anybody.
Okay, it's a good point right there. What are you thinking about Pete Davidson going strong with Kim Kardashian? They came out publicly. He supported her on the Kardashians red carpet.
To be honest, when we're talking about a disgraceful person like Pete, I think Kim Kardashian thought that she was doing criminal justice reform. I think she looked at him and said, "This tattooed criminal, I have to reform his justice." And I don't expect it to last, but if she wants to be with him, so be it. She's obviously desperate. She disrespected Kanye, and we won't forgive that.
Last story I want to talk to you about today is, I know you finished Netflix. I'm not sure if you went on the Showtime app and saw what was coming out, I think tonight. It's called The First Lady. It stars Michelle Obama, Betty Ford, and Eleanor Roosevelt.
Okay, well, hold on. It's not it. They're not. Eleanor Roosevelt is definitely not in it.
I'm saying it's not starring them. It's starring like they're talking about them. Those are the three people who the whole series is based on.
Don't be mad.
I'm not. I know you can't talk to dead people, but what I'm saying is that, well, maybe you can talk to dead people.
If I had said, okay, the new show is starring Eleanor Roosevelt, the radical left would have been saying, "Did you hear what Trump said?" I'm actually helping.
You're right. You're right.
On Passover, I'm helping. I'm showing great compassion for stuff. And that's all I was doing. It's called being nice. It's called being very nice.
Okay.
Well, no, of course, Showtime, they're sort of radical left. They're owned by Viacom, okay, which is a very big company, very radical left. Well, there's a company run by Newsmax called Viacom, which is producing the Melania Trump story, which will be airing for $24.95 on hotel pay-per-view. And it will show
You're
up
very
on
emotional
your
about this. You're very excited about this.
it will show up on your hotel bill as movie purchase. No other details for discretion, strong free speech and privacy. And it is a 3-hour movie featuring Melania Trump as herself. And it covers her journey from Transylvania, where she had to negotiate with Eastern European traffickers and pimps. And then she had to get a model, then it takes her to the modeling world where she had to get a modeling job, and she had to, she in the movie, she had to model penises in her mouth. and then it takes her all the way up to the White House, which is the name of the house where gentlemen came on her, which is why it was called the White House. So it's a very inspirational story that the radical left media won't tell, but Viacom, a division of Newsmax, it has produced this wonderful film to honor Myanmar Trump and her legacy as the greatest third lady prostitute in American history.
So I was going to ask you if Melania was jealous of this series and if she was coming out with another series, but you answered that question for me. I'm very excited to see this.
Who?
Mesopotamia.
Who's that?
Your wife.
To quote the great philosopher Carmelo Anthony, I'm not married, but my wife is.
That might have came from Patrice O'Neill before Carmelo Anthony, I think.
Oh, whatever her name is, she's got some good ideas.
So I'm glad to see that Melania has her own movie coming out, so she doesn't have to be jealous of this Showtime movie.
Emphasis on coming.
Yes. Well, Mr. President, I wanted to wish you a happy Easter and Merry Christmas, of course, in the same sentence. And I want to thank RebeccaSloan.com. Check out RebeccaSloan.com and use coupon code Ivanka for 20% discount, always free shipping. And if you'd like to check out the Perfect 10 episode on April 28th or listen to the new Passover bonus episode that recently dropped, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/MPGA. You will not be upset. We had a handful of new Patreon patriots come on just hearing about the Passover episode. So check it out. Like I said before, join for $5, binge when you run out. Just push that subscriber up even more, and you will get more and more bonus episodes. Also, if you haven't already, check out my special. It's on Amazon. It's on YouTube. It's on almost all video on demand. Something from Nothing. It's part comedy special, part documentary. And it was during the pandemic, the heart of the pandemic. So check that out. Something from Nothing. And Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. My career's over, so just have a good week. That's all. I won't bore you with stuff you don't listen to. So thanks for listening. If you still are, have a great week. My birthday is Sunday. Whoop-de-doo. God help us all.